Sue Bird won 4 WNBA championships. She was an All-Star 13 times, one of the more decorated basketball players in history, and also a 5-time Olympic gold medalist. Just named USA Basketball Women's National Team Managing Director. That's a hell of a title there. Is that on your business card? And what exactly does that mean, Sue?
Sue Bird, the freshly appointed Managing Director of Team USA Basketball, just had what can only be described as a full-blown superfan meltdown. And no, it wasn't about a Grammy or Taylor Swift. It was all about Caitlin Clark, the unstoppable long-range shooter lighting up the WNBA. Sue didn't just tip her hat, she basically composed a heartfelt basketball sonnet. If there were an MVP for admiration, Sue Bird just won in a blowout. But what exactly did she say? And why is the entire sports world freaking out? Oh, and did she just hint at a certain international tournament in 2028?
Managing director, it's basically what Grant Hill did for the men's team. So like a GM, pick the coach, pick the players, and then win some gold medals.
Caitlin Clark didn't just get a compliment. She was basketball knighted. But instead of a sword and a throne, she got something even rarer, the Sue Bird seal of approval. Sue doesn't need a crown. Her resume includes WNBA titles, Olympic golds, and a presence so commanding it could stop a room with just a raised eyebrow. That's right, we're talking about the General of Generals, the Queen of Calm Execution, who orchestrated championship-winning plays like a composer with a basketball. And now she's standing in awe of Caitlin Clark, in a way that makes even the most hardened sports fans feel like they're 13 again, watching their sports idols. This moment isn't just a nod of approval, it's a passing of the torch, and the torch is on fire. If you're excited about Caitlin making it to the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics, comment CC gold medal down below. Let's go.
The Fever, as you mentioned, took on Brazil back in Iowa. Caitlin's logo shot. I mean, she outdid she logoed the logo. Now they got to put a new logo down.
You guys, I think one of the things I love about Caitlin the most is her understanding and like willingness to like meet the moment and like do the thing that she knows everyone wants her to do.
She knows what the people...
When Sue Bird speaks, the basketball universe doesn't just lean in. It rewinds the tape and takes notes. And when she spoke about Caitlin Clark, it wasn't just she's got talent. It was she is the moment. Sue launched a full-blown statement of admiration that sounded less like flattery and more like a prophecy. Her praise wasn't casual. It was a declaration, the type of thing that makes you pause and say, oh, we're witnessing the beginning of something generational here.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. She knows it, and so does everybody else. The ratings for this game were 1.28 million. The game was on ESPN. It peaked at 1.6, and she only played like 18 minutes.
Wow.
So the Caitlin Clark effect is back. Not seeing her play since the fall. I'm sure everybody was hyped.
To be fair, Sue Bird isn't easily impressed. This is a woman who made UConn a dynasty, dismantled defenses while texting mid-crossover, probably, and still found time to rack up 5 Olympic golds while balancing leadership and laser-guided precision. She's played against legends and coached future stars. She's seen hype come and go. So when Sue Bird points to Caitlin Clark and says, "This is different," you believe her. Not because you want to, but because you feel the truth in your bones.
And then, of course, there was an adorable moment where basically all the Brazilian players were asking for her autograph and trying to take pictures. There's also a really cute moment where, I think in their shoot-around, they tried to hit a shot from that logo.
When Sue Bird endorsed Caitlin, it wasn't subtle. It was Da Vinci walking into a gallery, seeing a high school painting and saying, "Frame this." It was Serena Williams pausing mid-serve to watch a junior match and nodding with approval. This wasn't about potential. It was a full recognition of greatness. That kind of nod? That's currency in sports. It buys legacy, influence, and the kind of credibility that can't be earned from highlight reels alone. Now let's sprinkle in a little Olympic tension. We all remember how Caitlin Clark was snubbed in 2024. That roster left many scratching their heads, wondering how the biggest name in the sport didn't make the cut. The decision, made under Cheryl Reeves' leadership, sparked outrage. But now, Now Sue Bird is the one calling the shots. And her comments sure didn't sound like someone who plans to leave Clark off the next team sheet.
I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch dirt just be moved around because Caitlin Clark's not on the team. If she's there, it's appointment TV. You people, whoever did this, honestly, hey, take your brain, put it in a museum, and study it for how dumb you are.
Her words weren't just praise. They were breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs that led straight to Los Angeles 2028. The message was clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just a name on the rise. She's part of the plan. The kind of plan that includes gold medals and global domination. Sue Bird is rebuilding Team USA with vision, and that vision clearly includes Caitlin Clark front and center.
It was good to see her back in action. The Fever, that's their second preseason game. They got a lot of talent. It's like everybody. It's about piecing it together. Now, where they have a leg up on, a team like Dallas, where we say starting from scratch, is they have a lot of vets. So you're bringing in DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard. I think Sophie Cunningham has already made her presence felt. So it'll be interesting to see how they move along.
Sue's endorsement didn't just land, it exploded. Social media lit up with reactions from fans, fellow athletes, and even broadcasters. People who'd been lukewarm or even skeptical about Caitlin's superstardom are now forced to confront the reality. She's not going anywhere. She's not a momentary blip on the radar. She's the future. And Sue Bird just put that in writing with a mic drop.
Kelsey Mitchell's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple of years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record break.
It also didn't go unnoticed that while other voices in the WNBA establishment continue to downplay or critique Clark's meteoric rise, Sue Bird took the high road and the correct road. In a league where not everyone wants to see the new era flourish, Sue's decision to lean into Clark's talent instead of resist it is what leadership looks like.
So that takes us to Indiana, which I think everyone agrees right now has gone from, a team that made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. They were building all these young pieces, of course, Caitlin Clark, to now an immediate contender with all the moves that they've made.
And that's the true power of Sue's message. It wasn't just about Caitlin's shooting stats or her marketability. It was a recognition of something more fundamental, that the game is evolving, that the next chapter belongs to players like Caitlin Clark, and that the WNBA and USA basketball will be stronger for it if they embrace it. In short, Sue Bird just changed the conversation. She shifted the tone from skepticism to celebration. And in doing so, she didn't just validate Caitlin Clark, she opened the door to a future where talent, not politics, leads the way. So if you're still unsure whether Caitlin Clark belongs on the biggest stage in the world, you might want to listen to the most decorated woman to ever play the game.
I think Natasha Howard certainly stands out. I loved playing with Tosh.
But you cannot say enough
I
about
cannot
playing
say
with
enough
Tosh,
about
yeah.
Tosh. I really enjoyed playing with her. I think she really is she's just this glue player that doesn't get enough shine for what she does, because a lot of what she does doesn't show up in the box score, but she just is always in the right place at the right time. And a player like that, I think, complements what Indiana is building.
And if anyone's qualified to break down brilliance, it's Sue. She's been reading basketball plays like others read bedtime stories since she was barely tall enough to steal cookies off the top shelf. While other kids were learning the difference between offense and defense, Sue was decoding defensive schemes and memorizing help side rotations. She didn't just play the game, she dissected it, refined it, and executed it with the precision of a scientist dunking formulas. So when Sue Bird says Caitlin Clark has it, you better believe that it is rarer than a solar eclipse during the finals. This isn't some flash-in-the-pan moment. Sue's nod means Caitlin's the real deal, a franchise cornerstone who could drop buckets while orbiting Earth with a deflated ball and still wind up on SportsCenter's top 10.
They obviously, through trade, added Sophie Cunningham, a player that, I would say a 3-and-D type player who has, been to the finals, so has that playoff experience. She's also just tough. She's mentally tough. She's physically tough. She brings an edge to them. And then last but not least, they added DeWanna Bonner, which really I think is the one that for most people took it to another level. So now you're oh, they're a contender.
Sue Bird also knows a thing or two about being the face of a franchise. She's had to shoulder expectations so heavy they could turn your spine into spaghetti. She's played through media storms, intense scrutiny, and endless physical matchups, while making it look easier than a layup drill. That kind of experience doesn't come from a marketing campaign. It comes from surviving the fire and still showing up better, sharper, and stronger. So when she lifts up Caitlin Clark, she's not just hyping a highlight machine. She's endorsing someone who's built to endure the grind and still shine.
The biggest part of DB joining this team is that she's already played for Steph. So I think that's going to help bridge the gap, because as we go along, we're going to talk about Vegas and Seattle, Atlanta. It's really going to be which
Stephanie
team.
White being the head coach of,
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Was the head coach of Connecticut, now the head coach of Indiana.
Yeah. So it's really going to be the team that finds their chemistry. This season is short. I mean, they're adding games, but it's still pretty short
Still
season.
short, yeah, still short.
And it's
Still
going to
just
be the
summer.
team that finds chemistry. So having Stephanie White there, having already coached DB, really does help.
And let's be honest, Sue Bird isn't just a basketball phenom. She's also a cultural force. She's a fashion icon, sneaker royalty, commentator, community activist, and the walking definition of cool under pressure. She's the type of legend who doesn't need to say much to command a room. Now she's using all that influence not to relive the past, but to amplify the future. While some former athletes sit around trading back in my day stories, Sue's busy spotlighting the next generation. She sees Clark not as a passing trend, but as a once-in-a-generation talent with the game, the personality, and the vision to shake the WNBA to its core, in the best way possible. Hearing Sue Bird praise Caitlin Clark? That's the basketball version of a spiritual awakening. It's like Steph Curry showing up at your practice to fix your jumper while LeBron James steams your jersey and tells you, "You've got next." It's history in the making stuff, the kind of moment that deserves a sneaker drop, a docuseries, and a Broadway musical. But naturally, as soon as Sue said something remotely positive, the skeptics crawled out of their comment sections like clockwork.
The Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlin Clark and company have a true contending lineup next season. They have Caitlin Clark, they have Aaliyah Boston, they made sure that they re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. That was a big one. They acquired both Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner. They traded for Sophie Cunningham. They still have Lexi Hull. And now they have made a move that is literally my favorite of WNBA free agency. They have signed Sydney Colson, face of the WNBA.
Sue has played alongside and against the greatest hoopers of all time. When she endorses Clark, that's not just validation. That's a torch being passed, ceremoniously and with intent. And for Sue, basketball isn't just a career. It's her love language. She breathes it, sleeps it, lives it. She's probably out here visualizing curl screens in her dreams. So when she watches Caitlin carve up a defense or casually drain 30-footers, it's not just admiration. It's kinship. It's recognizing someone who speaks the same rare basketball dialect.
Should they have been on Team USA?
I would have put Caitlin Clark on Team USA, absolutely. Any USA basketball experience for someone as young as Caitlin Clark is going to benefit America for years and years and years and years. So yeah, I would have put her absolutely on Team USA.
Now let's take a step back and appreciate the bigger picture here. Women's basketball is in very, very good hands. The passing of the baton isn't happening behind closed doors. It's happening loudly, proudly, and in the brightest spotlight the sport has seen in years. And the fact that anyone would dismiss Sue Bird's voice in this conversation is laughable. Yet some people still want to measure Clark's potential by whether she's trending on Instagram that day. Come on, Sue isn't just praising a hot hand. She's identifying a generational force and validating her on a level no highlight reel ever could.
I think we all expect Caitlin Clark to make it. I'm sure the NBA expects Caitlin Clark to make it. When the commissioner of the league, that is really the boss of Kathy Engelbert, and he is, let's not get confused, when he comes out and says it was a great miss for women's basketball to have left Caitlin Clark off the team, you better make sure you get her on the team.
Let's put it this way. Sue Bird didn't just tip her hat. She metaphorically dunked holy water from the logo and declared Clark blessed. That's what this moment really is. Legacy recognizing legacy. Not hype, but heritage. Not clout, but confirmation. This is what happens when the greatest pass the mic to the next. It's powerful. It's pure. And if you're still squinting to see the impact, you might want to switch to badminton because this is top-tier basketball royalty doing what they do best, recognizing greatness and keeping the culture strong. And as we sit tight for the Caitlin Clark era, one thing is certain. Sue Bird is not only watching, she's analyzing every assist, appreciating every jumper, and probably grinning every time Clark leaves a defender spinning. Her presence, her words, and her support carry more gravity than most franchises. And with Sue's backing, Caitlin isn't just launching her pro career. She's kicking off a new era with the full blessing of the basketball gods. This next chapter, it's about to be blindingly bright. If you're excited about Caitlin making it to the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics, comment CC Gold Medal down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.